Live from Nasdaq's MarketSite, I'm your host, Christina Ayanian, and joining me today is co-founder and CEO of Krisp, Davit Baghdasaryan. Davit, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Christina.
We're having this conversation in such a timely manner. There's a recent AI boom. I've seen Krisp everywhere on social media. To start us off, can you tell us a little bit about Krisp and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So voice has such a unique power to deliver impactful communication, create a rapport, and create more deeper connection and articulate ideas in a more clear, with clarity and crispness. But in the same time, the problem is that in online voice communication, it can be disrupted by background noises, echo, like people just talking behind you, or accents, right? Or language and understanding. And all of this impacts the effectivity of voice communication. So at Krisp, we have pioneered the world's first voice productivity software that enhances communication through AI, right? So in real time, it eliminates background noises, echo. Soon, it's going to localize accent. It creates transcription and summaries of meetings, right?
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that because I've run into that so many times where I'm on a call and there's background noise and the person on the other line can't hear me. Yeah. So you're set to solve that. Why are you so interested in this field? What kind of sparked your interest to set out into voice communication?
Yeah, absolutely. So like many other innovations that happen in the industry, there is a personal story behind this, right? Like the story, like the problem I had personally was that, I was connecting to online meetings, that, there was noise behind me, and I always wanted some privacy and flexibility, especially if there is a time zone difference. You're somewhere that is different, it's evening time. You don't always want to stay home, but you want to be productive, right? Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to have a switch that I, turn on, and my team would only hear my voice, and that's what basically we have built, right? And as we were building this, like for noise cancellation, we started to realize that voice productivity is such a big problem. It's not just noise, but it impacts like pretty much the entire meeting, right? And there are so many shortcomings that people have to be more effective in voice communication, and technology can solve that for them.
It's a great opportunity and with a massive ambition too. Can you give some examples or some case studies as to how Krisp is solving these challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have over 60,000 customers today that use Krisp for very different use cases. These are individuals, these are enterprises, and like they pretty much, the use cases are so vastly different from each other. Like one that is very clear though is customer service, right? Every time companies do external communication, the pain is very clear. You want very effective communication because of higher customer satisfaction, more positive brand, right? Even like faster issue resolutions in customer service. But also the other use cases are sales, right? You want higher sales conversions. And like one very big use case is internal meeting efficiency, right? When people talk to each other, there is so much, overhead. And if we could improve this, we might even have less meetings, right? Than we need.
Absolutely. And due to the pandemic, teams are now spread across the world. You said you're launching a new accent technology this week. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I want to start with a recent technology that we already launched, and it's live now. It's called Krisp Meeting Notes. So Krisp has been well known for its noise cancellation, like AI-powered noise cancellation, for a long time. But recently, we have brought Meeting Notes, which basically we are in a meeting, in any meeting you want, like online meeting. Krisp transcribes your meeting for your own device, right? And also creates a summary of the meeting using AI, incredibly high quality summary of the meeting. So you don't have to take notes anymore because the technology will do it for you. this week we are announcing a new technology which we call accent localization. And the idea is that it translates speakers' accent and dialect into listeners' local accent and dialect, hence improving the comprehension and understanding of the communication.
That's incredible, and definitely a challenge that many employees and many companies are facing today.
Yes, absolutely. Like if you think about voices, the business impact of voice, right? And we have spent a lot of time thinking about this. It goes from just the clarity of the audio, right? And goes to the empathy, right? Empathy is so important in voice communication, and goes to understanding like language, accent, huge problem to solve, right? And then eventually it goes to making meetings more effective, such as, transcribing, taking notes, and then understanding what happened in hundreds of meetings at your company without spending, hours of listening to the recordings, right?
How can users use Krisp?
Yeah, it's very simple. Like if you visit Krisp.ai, it's a free app, by the way, a free, very powerful and generous app. You can download it right from there and start using it. And the beauty of Krisp is that it works across any app, any voice app. Mm-hmm. So although you might have been using Zoom or Teams, or like for your podcast, you might be using Krisp. Works with any such app, and it provides this voice productivity level on top of that.
That's incredible. I think what you're doing is so innovative, and thank you so much for sharing your story. We look forward to continue following.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.